Now today, Friday, we're here in the wonderful surrounds of the Green Hills Hotel on the Ennis Road in Limerick City. And I want to say a very special thank you to the wonderful committee of the Parkinsons Association of Ireland, the Midwest branch, for having both Dennis and myself here, and also extending our gratitude to the Green family for this wonderful hospitality here and facilities. Now, firstly, we're talking today about Parkinson's and what Parkinson's is actually, what it really is, how it affects men and women of all ages. And this is a programme of What Matters to relay to the listeners at home and abroad about what Parkinson's is and the support mechanisms that are there by these wonderful, wonderful people. I'm firstly joined by Una Anderson-Ryan, who is chairperson of the special projects. Una, it's great
nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having us here. And just to briefly introduce us here to the remaining members here of the committee.
Okay.
This is Kathleen.
This is Kathleen Conran. She is our chairperson.
Hi, Kathleen.
And then we have Lily Wolfe,
Nice to meet
who
you.
is also on the committee.
Marvellous.
We have
I know
James.
it's 12 years.
12 years.
Then we have James Broderick, who is our secretary.
Hi, James.
And next we have Eddie Butler, who is the treasurer. We
Eddie.
have to be nice to.
Yes, well, very nice too.
And then at the end there we have Richard Conran, Kathleen's husband.
Right, very good. And thank you all for joining us here today. It's very good of you to give your time. Una, I was just thinking over the whole area of Parkinson's, but for listeners there and viewers at home and abroad, just to explain what is Parkinson's.
Parkinson's is a condition, chronic condition, when a little chemical in the brain called dopamine fails to regenerate. All our lives we take it for granted, but when this fades, we suddenly lose movement, and it controls our movement, and if we haven't got it, then we run into trouble.
Right. Now, the movement would be a physical movement, obviously, from head maybe to your feet.
Absolutely. Now, when people meet a Parkinson patient, the first thing that some people will notice, they have a tremor, usually in one hand or the other.
I see.
That's the most obvious one.
Right.
But then not everybody has a tremor. With some people, it affects their walk. For some people, it affects their speech. So it affects them all in different ways. It doesn't really affect the brain, the cognitive aspect of the brain, until very late.
I see.
And it may never happen.
Please God, yes,
Yeah.
it may never happen.
Yeah.
And it's a national organisation which is wonderful and doing fantastic work as well. Kathleen, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Today. Now, these support mechanisms that are there for people that come to you for the first time, how do they come into play?
Well, very often the first we know of somebody is when they give us the call and they say they have Parkinson's. And I have to be honest, the first thing I tell them about, we are very lucky in this area. We have our nurse specialist, Nurse Richardson. She does an absolutely super job. We wouldn't be able to manage without her. And we have our monthly meetings here in the Green Hills. And Mags is always in attendance. She will bring along a guest speaker that is qualified in their own area of Parkinson's or of related conditions with Parkinson's. And then we have a question and answers after that. And of course the cup of tea and the cup of coffee.
Oh, very nice.
Biscuit, the social aspect of
that's
it.
very important too, isn't it?
It is.
The getting together, the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have hydrotherapy going in St. Gabriel's, and there is the voice group they run, and also there's the step dancing.
Step dancing. I can't even do step dancing.
They're under the guidance of him, and he takes
out in Drumkeen.
Lovely.
Step dancing. So there's quite a bit going on,
That's an awful lot.
you know, and at the moment we're trying to bring down an information day down to Newcastle West.
Yes,
For the
I heard
people
about
down
that,
the
which is
west.
fantastic.
Yes.
Looking forward to being there.
Good, good. thank you,
Absolutely.
great. And that's in progress, so we'll keep you informed on that as
Yes,
to how
indeed.
plans are going.
And we will be delighted to give you all the exposure that is required for that day. So
Super.
don't worry, I think it's very, very important as well.
Thank
Now, this lovely lady beside you, how are you?
I'm well enough.
Now, I just heard that your nephew is
Conor Murray.
of the Irish
He's my
rugby team,
godson. He's my next door neighbour.
right?
And he's a whole lot, I think, but he's a special young man in my
Yeah.
life anyway. He's a good young fellow.
And more than a great rugby player, he's a fine young man who values family, who has put in the effort over the years to get where he is today.
And a great man to eat brown bread. So
Ah, that's
I'm
the
kept
same.
very busy with the
Homemade brown bread.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, I remember it well, my mother baking it in Dublin for us, or in my aunt's place in Glynn. Homemade brown bread. Could not beat
Well, I
it.
did a fine batch of scones at 4 o'clock this
Oh, I
morning. Because the legs wouldn't work, so I said something must work.
Some hands came in.
I'm telling you. You
Now,
have to get on with life too, you know. You should try and-
this is something that is coming across very, very strongly here, is that you're so positive,
Mhm.
you're not going to sit down in the corner and let this take you on.
No.
You're taking it on.
Absolutely.
You're
have
starting.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to take it on,
Yes.
and you have to work with it. And maybe it will change your life a little, but you make those changes,
Mhm.
and that's the way you go about life, and you just stay positive with it,
Yes.
you know.
Another activity we have, which I think is most important, we go to the postgrad medical school in UL,
Oh.
and we bring a couple of patients, and they talk just what symptoms they have and how they manage to live with it. And it gives the students an insight into Parkinson's.
Yes.
And so when eventually they are going to work, when they meet a Parkinson patient, they'll understand them a bit better.
Yes.
We also
That's
speak
great.
to the occupational therapy
Yes.
school, and like that, they love that.
I think, sorry, the
How
young
long, how
sorry.
long are you with the disorder?
12 years.
12 years.
And it probably was there maybe 5 years before that. I was being treated originally for vertigo for 12 months.
Vertigo,
Yeah,
yes.
but that's understandable because it's not the easiest thing in the world to
Yeah.
recognise. But I'm with Helena Moore from Trillium. She's my little rock. She's
Very
a great girl. She's a great
neurologist.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent. So
And
you're a great
I was
care.
walking a beach in South Africa with my husband walking behind me. And at the end of the walk he said, "You're not using your left side. You know how you swing your arm?"
Yes, yes.
Well, I said, "It would take you to find fault." So he had me see a doctor, and I was diagnosed on return. I had he had an appointment made for me when we came back to Ireland. And Helena came in with a box of tissues. She put it on the table and said, "You're going to need these." And all Michael said was, "Thank God, we have a name for it."
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Is-
that's how
is-
we dealt with it.
That's the biggest breakthrough, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Michael, isn't it?
James.
James.
James. That, how did your symptoms start, James, yourself?
Well, mine, I was diagnosed about 6 years ago,
Yes.
and it started with a tremor.
Right.
And then, it got a bit worse, and I went to a neurologist.
Yes.
They didn't think it was Parkinson's at that time because I didn't have a lot of other symptoms.
Right.
But a few years later, I went back.
Yes.
Now, I heard you mention earlier on one of your goals is to let people know what's available in the community
Correct.
for support.
Mhm.
But what's available in the community from all of us is compassion. So that monthly meeting that goes on, you're going into a safe, secure environment,
I understand.
a non-judgment environment. And that's what gives you the resilience to go on and be positive and be upbeat and be honest as well. There's days you're not going to feel great,
No.
and you're entitled to days like that.
Yes. Do you ever feel like kicking a chair, kicking a wall, and saying,
I need the pillow.
No, I never
Pillow.
do. I consider myself so lucky.
Yes.
I have a wonderful wife. I have 3 great children. I have so many positive things going on in my life.
Yes.
Why would I worry about something that's there that's not going to change? Look, I volunteer out in Pallaskenry School for the TYs, giving them a class. And before I start the class, I say, lads and ladies, I may shake a bit, I may have difficulty speaking, but it's got to do with a neurological condition. I look down at those students and the love they've got for me, and everyone paying 100% attention. Why would I be giving out about anything?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you see, I'm the type of individual that I'm always grumpy and giving out.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking to you people, I feel ashamed
Yeah.
because you people are getting on with it.
But,
You're tackling it, as I said, you're taking it on.
but go easy on yourself as well.
Yes.
Don't be digging a deeper hole. None of us are perfect.
Mm.
And you've got to show compassion to yourself. And look, my mother was living in Garryowen in Limerick City. She had nine children, and we were all gone. Who were the important people in my mother's life? It was the neighbours as she walked up the road and said, "Good morning, Bridget, how you doing? You're looking good today." When she went to the pharmacy, they went above and beyond to give her what she needed.
Yes.
That's everywhere,
Yeah, people are wonderful. Really.
you know.
I
You see,
think
we
your
haven't-
mum had Parkinson's.
She did, yes.
James's mum had Parkinson's also.
I
Yeah.
see. So I was just going to come down. Could it be, is it genetic or hereditary, I should say?
Well, they're not sure. really.
There is genetic forms of it you can get.
Yes.
Now the neurologist I've seen has done blood tests and analysed
I
the
see.
DNA, and he said you've got this gene.
I see.
You know.
But your speech is excellent.
Look, when I was in my mid-20s and I was in Boston, I developed a speech impediment.
Yes.
And the job I did needed me to be on the phone. And the career I had after that, nobody wants anybody to be struggling with speech. Nobody is going to laugh. People aren't compassionate and they want you to succeed.
Of course. And
Sorry,
you are succeeding.
Can I just say something which might be interesting? I was kind of very relaxed in the fact that this is not genetic. And I thought, thank God, you know, nobody around is going to get this thing. And my 2 brothers, 2 of 8, have been diagnosed in the past 6 months
With Parkinson's.
with Parkinson's.
Right.
With 2 good, strong men. You know.
Michael J. Fox says it's environmental.
Michael J. Fox, the actor,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Do you know, I believe it is myself.
Yeah.
That's my own thing.
He was working on a film up near Toronto, and there was a lot of chemical factories around, and I think out of the group that were working there, 11 got a variation of Parkinson's.
Michael.
But he says that's where he got it.
Well, our little village is very small, Patrickswell, you know.
Yes.
Patrickswell, I know it well.
And there are at least 10 with Parkinson's in that little
In that area there, yes.
And
100
in Duradoyle Estate, there's about 8.
8. So is it becoming like a clusters,
That's what we call it.
you know, general segments of population, maybe near pylons, near
Yeah.
factories, we don't know.
We don't.
Now,
The chimney at the regional hospital.
yes,
Oh.
well, that's one
Yeah.
thing. Or can I dare say Irish cement? What's going on there?
Yeah.
You know, this is the biggest worry for public health
Yeah.
issues. Now, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Ed, yeah.
Now, are you the treasurer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You have the sign of a minister for finance.
Thank you very much.
He was pulling the strings
I-
on the
I
Minister
do
for
pull the
Finance.
strings as well. How are you keeping today?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yep, great. Your voice perfect. It's like the rest, excellent. Tell me how, of your own case history, how did this develop for you?
Well, my story is very much like Lily's as I was listening to her there now. In 2005, I saw a tumor in my hand, but I paid no
Yes.
attention to it. My wife said to me, get that checked out. So I did. And the GP said it could be Parkinson's, but we'd have to let it develop. which you have to do before you put you on medication and so on, and we had neurologists to actually determine his Parkinson's. So we did that, and after 2 years I went on medication. But it's a trial and error situation. You just get the balance right with medication. Before they get accurate, you're going to have shakes and tremors and all the rest. And what Lindy said there about her left hand not moving voluntarily as well. During my working life I was sitting at desk most times. So when I come home in the evening after my tea I would like to go for a walk. And I discovered that the natural swing in your two arms, this one wasn't working. So I just have to make a swing. So I'm convinced now that I had something before 2005 when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
I see.
So
Right.
there must be some element of maybe Parkinson's, you know, but my arm would not swing.
Has
naturally.
set in.
You must get, you're just hanging, but you swing this one swing naturally with your walk.
Yes.
But you know when you're walking, you swing both hands,
Correct.
both arms, but this one was only hanging there. I was just make a swing. But that was an eye-opener to me, looking back and subsequently.
But every single one of you, I haven't met you or known you prior to today, but just judging it, you're just so happy, you're just so content,
Well,
and yet determined.
You have no choice, you must make the best of what you have.
Yes.
It's not a disease that you will die from, you will die with it, you won't die from it. And I think that's significant as well. You don't have to worry about it, the condition that will make you ill and terminate it doesn't mean, no, you just die with it when you do pass away.
I think it's very important for this particular group. They help others. You know, they're very willing to work on the committee and
Yes.
help run various things, fundraisers and all the rest. And I think that gives them a positive attitude.
Yes, I see, of course.
You
Yeah,
must-
because they're
because-
intermingling.
Yes.
They're not isolated.
You must
No.
remember that in Ireland at the moment there's about 12,000 people with Parkinson's, and here in the Midwest area there are over 800. And the numbers are growing. The more people are getting than they're passing away. The numbers are growing, so we require more and more services.
I
And
understand.
we're always chasing that area, trying to develop more services, more help for patients.
And the gentleman now beside you is?
Richard.
Richard, how are you, Richard?
I'm good,
Kathleen's
thank you.
husband.
It's my
And
husband.
that is Kathleen's husband.
Kathleen
Yes.
is my right
Rock.
arm.
But I see you're sitting way.
That's what keeps us very close.
Wouldn't want to be recorded and holding hands with this page.
Well, you know what now, that might be a nice thing too for people to see. We might all learn a lesson from that. But Richard, how did everything start for your good self?
Initially it started about 12 years ago when I couldn't hold the steering wheel driving the car. So the first thing that went was the facility to be able to drive.
Yes.
And only for Kathleen, I wouldn't have been able to go any place because my independence disappeared at that stage.
Yeah.
So
But it wasn't diagnosed at that stage. They thought it was a disc in the back
yeah,
that was causing the problem.
Wow.
So, it was first of all said it was a disc, and it was while Richard was attending the surgeon, wasn't it?
yeah, and the surgeon in Cork, he said I can sort out your lower back, but you have other issues which I cannot deal
Wow.
with. So he referred me to the neurologist, and then I was diagnosed about 10 years ago. But I think one thing that's very important is the Parkinson's patient is one person, but the person at their side is so important.
I get you, yes.
So important that, they're the people. We talk about losing our independence or not being able to do everything, but it's the other person at our side has to give up so much. Kathleen has been driving me around for the last 12 years.
Driving Miss Daisy.
You're driving him crazy.
Driving crazy, yes.
And it does the research and looks up what would help me to gain more independence.
Yes.
And she came up with an idea there last year about a trike, because I find it very difficult to walk very far.
Okay.
and she did the research, and we went on the Greenway in Waterford over the last 6 months, or 6 months last year, and it was marvellous. I was able to cycle, keep in front of her for a change rather than way behind her.
That's an achievement. That's an achievement. But I was just going to ask all of you as well, just a general question. With Parkinson's, do you have an element or a level of physical pain? I know with tremors and, you know, not able to do this or that, but is there a physical pain involved?
Yeah, there is non-specific,
Right.
which I suffer with, which is, can cause an awful lot of pain. And I've lost, no, I've gained it back again, but I lost virtually not being able to move anything, move hands, legs, and it has, you know, but thanks be to God with the medication, and as I say, with the person alongside me, I've got back to living a very happy life again.
That's marvellous.
Very happy
And you
life.
see, that shows then the importance of Parkinson support
That's
systems
it.
in place.
That's it.
Because, like unable to move, now moving, talking, enjoying life, you know, Kathleen, his lovely wife there.
My
Hopefully
right hand
someday
man is
you'll
my
go back to South Africa.
My 10-year-old grandchild used to come to the speech therapy with me,
There.
right? And she'd sit him in a corner, and while I was doing my blowing into this thing to get the strength back, he'd say, "Go on, Nana, I know you can do it."
You see, but you see, that's it.
And he loved it. He loved it.
And one thing there, Michael, that you did say, which struck a chord as well, the support systems of family, friends around you,
Yeah.
compassion seems to be a big word in all of this as well.
But the significant thing is that you know, as a non-patient, non-Parkinson's, and other people like you all around you would have no idea what Parkinson's is. Personally, I had no idea whatsoever. I heard the word,
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was about or anything else. It just how it affected me. So I mean, whereas people would have an understanding of cancer or a heart condition or things like that, but they would have no understanding of Parkinson's until it hit you.
Until it hits you. And
For a long time, there was a stigma attached to Parkinson's. And so people, when they know they've been diagnosed with it, a lot of people are slow to come forward
Right.
because they're afraid of what the neighbours
Other
would say.
people might think.
Or
But it's the
other
biggest
men.
mistake you can make.
Yes,
It's the biggest mistake you can make.
yeah.
That's
You know,
dreadful.
yeah,
But
and
most people do that.
one of the best things I was referred to earlier is the fact that
Yes.
the meetings that we have, the information meetings,
Mhm.
when they're finished and you've asked the questions of the expert, as he or she might be, the cup of tea and the chat,
Yeah.
there's so much information changes hands during that.
Well, that's
quick
it.
days.
Little tips
Yeah, exactly,
that might
yeah.
help you do this
Exactly.
or
Yes.
that
Yeah.
or whatever.
Even freezing, I mean, just tapping the hands,
Yeah.
so the rhythm,
Yes.
and then you get moving.
Freezing means that your legs won't go, you can't take the next step.
Yes.
It's like as if something comes up before you and you just can't move forward. But then you could either use a little laser to point and you could get your leg moving to it, or a rhythm as Richard just said. So they've all tips and tricks on how to do it. Everyone has a different way of doing
Yes.
it.
And one point that I just wanted to come to there again was the medication side of things. Now, what aid does the medication do?
It controls the symptoms.
Controls it.
That's
Right.
all.
Yes.
I suppose you could say it replaces the dopamine.
Yes.
It replaces the dopamine in the brain. The reason for Parkinson's, we lack the dopamine. Everybody has dopamine in their brain.
Yes.
We've lost about 80% of it. And the medication helps to
Stimulates it.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
yes.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
that medication that you take then is actually, like all of you, walking, talking, smiling, chatting like everybody
And the
else.
point is, no two people are the same.
I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Yes.
And medication for each person is different.
But very important is to take medication on
And
time.
specified times, yeah.
At specified times. There's a reason for all of that.
There is a reason, and if you don't, I mean, you can get affected,
Yes.
and you slow down, or
You
you're
get
not
pulled
as
in
active.
with the meds.
Currently, the HSE are being targeted for so many different things. It's very unusual to hear such great praise, but fair play to your tenacity. And in fairness, like, fair play to the HSE
Yes.
Absolutely.
for
Yes.
accommodating.
There are some
Yes.
very good
In so many
services.
different
There are
ways.
some very good services provided.
You know, that is
People when you talk about the bad
credit.
things, but they will never say the good things. There are a lot of good things going on.
something I picked up while we were just having a break. The hydrotherapy pool, very important for people
Absolutely.
with Parkinson's.
Absolutely.
Hydrotherapy in St. Gabriel's.
Fantastic facility.
That's a fantastic, and all of you use that, do you?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Great. So you go there so many different times during the week.
Once a week. Once a
That's
week.
excellent.
It's
And you find a great relief.
No, we take a break during the summertime because so many people are on holidays and so on.
I know,
And
yes.
We'll be back in September. Right, so
There was something that Una, you mentioned, and Kathleen, about the medical facilities at the UL, is it?
University.
The University of Limerick,
Yes,
which the students in their final year
that's right.
give so
They
much
give-
time.
They give their time, they give 10 hours to the Parkinson's patients. We get 2 hours for 5 weeks of physiotherapy and exercise from them, which is great. The Parkinson's members really feel the benefit of it.
Yes.
And it's good on both sides because it means that the physiotherapists that are in their final year,
Yes.
they have the experience of
Hands-on.
working. It's hands-on.
Very much so.
And it's very important. It's important on both sides.
And,
You know?
and another thing about the group therapy, with that you're actually saving a HSC money, because as people come into physio in a group, they're learning skills they can do in their own home
Yes.
that
Great.
will keep them out of the regional in emergency.
Right.
Same
That's
thing
very
applies-
important.
same thing applies. We've been invited up to UCC in Cork on a number of occasions.
Yes.
Again, to talk to medical students. And one day during a break, I was talking to the director of the college, a Limerick man called Dr. Pat Henn. And he said he's Bishop of Auction and Rugby Club, by the way. But I was asking him what would the benefit of this for the students. But what we would do is we talk for a few minutes ourselves of our experience, and indeed that's really questions actually. There could be up to 100 people there. And very significantly, he said, rather than getting theory, they're meeting people who have Parkinson's, other conditions as well. And he said they can ask the right question and in the knowledge that they're getting straight answers.
Yes.
And a significant point which he made was, and I hadn't realised it, he said, do you realise, we all know that the patient going to the doctor might be apprehensive, but he said, do you realise that the doctor waiting for the patient to come in is also apprehensive?
That's true.
Never
But
thought
that
that.
Don't think of that.
No,
Most
never
interesting.
did. No. And you were telling me there just during the break as well, you have and had bed and breakfast, your own business,
Still on the go, 25
And
years.
sort of
And when,
in
when
the
I
early
wa- when I was-
diagnosis.
the very first day I was diagnosed,
Yes.
I said, when Helena Moore said the word Parkinson's, I said, that's it, that's the end of my bed and breakfast. Because I had a fairly decent good one, and still on the go.
And you're still
But
there.
her question was very good. She just said, "Now, Lily, why would you give up your B&B?" Because I thought when she said Parkinson's, oh, it's all over, Lily. You know,
That's what you
make
think.
your last confession and get on with it.
I know.
But I'm still planning.
And she's a millionaire now.
But
Good part.
as you were saying there, you hit the nail on the head there. You said what you think. You see, what happens is not the problem. It's all those thoughts we're having about what has happened to us.
Yeah.
And the first thing is you got to accept, and then you got to learn, and then you got to move on.
Yes.
And Lily's done that very
Yeah,
successfully.
and you have the
Well, I think all of you,
everyone here.
I mean, you're marvellous
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Every single one of you.
When I was 20 years without cycling a bicycle, and I loved and I disappeared for a few minutes. I hired the bicycle.
Uh-huh.
I got onto the road. It was the scariest thing
And
I
that
ever
was
did.
it.
And I cycled 2 miles,
There you are.
and I'm just in heaven.
Ah, fantastic.
Isn't that great?
But you see, that's the one thing that I personally have learned from all of you, is the fact that no matter what medical condition you have, whatever condition it is, mental or physical,
Yeah,
you can still pursue your life's dreams
absolutely.
with the help and support of the wonderful organisations that are there in this country, like Parkinson's, are there to help. And that's one thing that I've learned as well, is the medical backup that is there, the physiotherapy that is back there, and also the community spirit that is there as well. As you said,
That's
most
800 patients in the Midwest,
Yeah.
literally.
Yes.
You know,
I think it's very
Which is-
important, if you are diagnosed with Parkinson's, to make contact
Yes.
with
That's
somebody
the
in
message.
the organisation.
Yes.
I mean, when I was diagnosed, only for making contact and getting
I understand.
great help and advice from Una
Mhm.
initially, and I would say that it's very important, because you can say to yourself initially, I don't want to talk about it, my life is over, and all of a sudden, once you start talking and meeting people that have Parkinson's,
Yes.
you realise,
That's the inspiration.
yeah,
It
that
is,
is
You
the
know,
inspiration.
no point in talking to somebody, as they say, if you have Parkinson's or other disorder, that, you know, are one side of the table. When you meet somebody that has what you have been diagnosed with and getting on with life successfully,
And we're only too happy to talk to anyone
correct.
that has just been diagnosed
Yes.
or over the period of our life with Parkinson's, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, I noticed
Get that
now.
message out. Sorry.
Sorry, there's a lady in our area, and she will not come to the meetings.
Right.
And she says, "I'd love to talk to you." Well, she can talk to me, but it's not the point. You know, she's not. She doesn't take it as a social thing.
I
which was-
understand.
Yes.
It's so good. Those meetings are incredible.
And like my experience was, I was diagnosed when I was 45, so I was a younger person.
Yes.
But when I go to the meeting and I see people who have real challenges, who have difficulty and their loved one and their carer is next to them, for me that's inspirational.
Incredible.
And the age is irrelevant. What we've got in common is what's relevant. So I benefited from that.
Right.
I've got a responsibility to the next people.
Yes, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're including everybody.
Yeah.
You're not sort of isolated, saying, "Oh, poor me, I've this and this and
Mm.
this." You're just getting on with it and helping other people that need the help.
But a very important maxim is to bear in mind that no matter what condition you might have, any day that you get out of bed is a good day.
That's right.
I didn't
That's
say
a
that
great
this
thing.
morning. I was walking.
But you're here.
I
Another
was
thing about
walking
our
to
nurse
the book.
specialist, which is most important, when we drew up the contract with her, we arranged that she would be part hospital, part community.
Right.
So, for example, if somebody down in Glynn or West Clare or West Limerick or anywhere out of this particular Limerick region, if they have a problem at home, she can call to them.
Fantastic.
It's there for that. And somebody that admired the work of the committee was dying, and in her will she left a sizable amount. And now we're in the process of appointing a second nurse, because Mag's
That's
work
fantastic.
Oh,
is
well
just,
hard.
she can't.
She works so hard.
Because we're concerned about Meg. Meg is a terrific lady. And her territory is from Cork to Kilbenny and from Kilketo on Spray. That's a big geographical. No Bishop covers that amount of territory. So she's a great lady.
Oh,
Oh,
she
my
is
God.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we say thank you, don't we?
We
Yes,
do.
that's
We do. We
really
give her a little round of applause.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So finally, Una and Kathleen, just to remind people as well that the open day is in Newcastle West,
Yes, on the 24th, Sunday, the 24th of June.
and we're looking forward to being there
Yes,
and,
we'll
find
have-
out, and meeting more people. As
Yes, we'll have 4 guest speakers on
Marvellous.
various aspects of the
Excellent.
condition,
well. Great.
and you can ask the questions.
Lovely.
And you know, some patients might want to learn about deep brain stimulation, or some patients might find that their medication
Yes.
doesn't agree with them, so there's what they call the apomorphine pump. So we can talk about anything like that.
That's very, very
On the
important.
day.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure meeting all of you here
Thank you
today.
very
Thank you
much.
very
Thank
much.
you indeed.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
I've noticed that the two of you have kept further apart.
There's no significance in that.
I'm not going to create a domestic here now, anyway, am I?
and
But-
if just have one more minute.
Yes,
We
please.
developed a unit in the regional hospital, I don't know if you heard about the Liban building,
Yes.
and there were 3 charities got together, and we developed a neurological acute stroke unit and neurological centre. And there we now have 2 neurologists, a neurophysiotherapist, and we have 7 staff who volunteered to do the Parkinson patient course.
Fantastic.
And so this unit is it's like a hotel. When some of them go in, they say it's like a hotel.
We must give one of the
that's
village
absolutely
sheep.
Yeah,
But
It's
the
such hard
important
work.
thing
So
is
much
that
hard
we have
work
the
for that.
trained staff
Yeah,
there
ready,
Yes.
there,
that
trained.
understand.
Yes.
Like, I remember one time somebody went into a ward in a different part of the hospital, and a Parkinson patient was kind of the symptoms were gone like this, and frightened the others and shouting out. And but in this ward, they have much bigger space, close over the curtain, and nobody's worried.
Privacy. Very,
Absolutely.
very
The
important.
big thing with Parkinson's is that the meds are taken on time and at a specific time,
Yes.
and that makes a huge difference.
Right. Well,
Because
I mean,
if they're going to the cooling off period or the off, it takes longer for the
Right.
meds to kick back in, and that's where you
so
get the
medication
problems.
is the key.
Medication.
Medication on time
On
Oh, is the
time.
is the essential.
On time
Yes.
is essential. Yes.
Well,
Thank
all
you
I
very
can
much
say
for
is
coming.
that
Thank you very much for coming
it
to
has
meet
been a
us.
great pleasure. It has been an awakening and an education to meet such wonderful people as yourself. So from now on, my new
Mantra.
thing is in life, my new motivation is I'm not going to crib and I'm not going to complain because these people have shamed me. But
Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
so much, Una. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
You're wonderful people. I mean that with sincerity. Keep up the great work. And I hope we'll all meet again in Newcastle West.
Yes, for a full cassette now this time. Full
Definitely looking
cassette.
forward.
Not yet.
Don't
And
forget
you're all
the,
coming.
don't forget the significance of the emblem, the aspen.
The emblem.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Now you said something to me there very importantly. The aspen tree. So we're just going to pull around here a little. And it's a beautiful verse here. Would one of you just like to read it?
Go on, Una.
The aspen tree and its branches are strong, sturdy, and enduring, but the leaves tremble even on a still day. The aspen leaf was chosen as the logo of the Parkinsons Association of Ireland as a symbol of the inner strength of people with Parkinson's. And
Lovely.
this here is the emblem. And Newbridge actually made it, in silver. And
Oh, beautiful.
we used it then as, for fundraising.
Excellent.
Men can
And
wear it on
all
their
my
lapel.
The significance is that the legend has is that the wood on which Christ was crucified was made from the aspen tree.
There you
The
are.
cross was made from the aspen tree.
So when we see of the crucified Jesus tree, the strength, what it meant,
Yeah, the cross.
and there it is,
Was made from the tree.
the strength coming through.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
other people we must thank are the people who support us
Yes.
when we run fundraisings, because we are absolutely voluntary.
Yes.
So everything we get goes into our kitchens, and that's what helps us with the hydrotherapies and all the other little extra
The
things.
information
The
afternoons.
information
and everything.
afternoons. So it's really, if there's a fundraiser on, it's everybody that comes in and supports us. We need to give a big thank you
And
to all
what's
those
raised in
people.
Limerick stays in Limerick.
Thanks to these wonderful, wonderful people that I've had the pleasure meeting, and hopefully a lot more will happen out of this What Matters programme with the wonderful people of Parkinson's, the Midwest branch. So from myself, John Prendergast, and these great, wonderful people, we'll talk to you again shortly. Stánat agus Gora Míle Mag.
Long as